Alright, ladies and gentlemen, new week, new Odyssey. What do we have in store this time? Sea monkeys? Who knew that monkeys can swim? Me. Alright. What's the bet? Either round 100 or chimps or both. It's tragic what's happened to Odysseys. Anyway. Skates, hard standard 1 to 40, all regrow, balloon speed increased slightly. Spar pits, hard standard 3 to 50. Moab health and Moab speed, honestly? Let's be honest. Doesn't make a single fucking difference that these were increased. It's literally one of the easiest maps in the game, unless you make it the hardest map in the game. Which most people probably won't know how to do, like the average player probably won't. And really? We're going around 50 and you think this is gonna make... You know what? Next. Lotus Island, 5 to 60. Better increases. There you go, that'll actually make a slight difference. Spice Islands, ABR, 5 to 80. Again, not a noticeable difference. And here it comes. Is it around 100 or is it chimps or is it both? Ah, it's just chimps. Round 90. Flooded Valley. Nobody likes Flooded Valley. Mob speed and mob health is reduced, which I will give them props for. I feel like every expert map should be nerfed in some regards in terms of these statistics here, just to cater to some of the more newbie players. Like, if you want to play chimps half cash ABR 2,000,000% mob HP, go do the races and the boss fights and the other bullshit content. This, however, I think is appropriate to help out the newer players take on the more difficult maps. Anyway, what have we got to bring? Well, considering it's about sea monkeys and there is water on every single map, maybe we will bring Brickle. You know what? Fuck it. This is a very rare situation where Brickle will actually go pretty damn well. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you a lot. A lot! I don't love you guys that much. Love you. I guess last map. Why? Why? Why is this a thing? Why is this the most unoriginal thing that you do every time now, making banana farms essentially useless on what is a very doable map and game mode? Just why? Why? Alright, and we'll chuck in one of those. How's that? That's fucking awful. Why? Why would I do that? That is absolutely awful. 3 is fine there, but we need to beef up these guys a bit. Okay, we are a little lacking in the fun department here, but I think we can go for that. I do want to bring a village. I don't... It's the one tower where if I don't use it by the end of the Odyssey, I genuinely don't care. Like, does not matter. No skin off my teeth. That's the saying, right? But like, if I have literally any other tower left over by the end, or that just did not get used whatsoever, it kind of upsets me, because I'm like, oh, I either didn't make a scenario happen where I could use, for example, a mermonkey throughout this whole Odyssey, which, to be honest, would be hilarious. So I might do it just for shits and gigs. In fact, I think I'm gonna try it. But yeah, for the most part, if I bring a monkey along, I generally have a pretty decent plan for it. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of them are just backup plans, but it's a little bit sad when I don't get to use all the towers that I bring. But yeah, now that I think about it, it would be fucking hilarious if we could just absolutely take the piss out of all of these Odysseys by trying to avoid the theme. Especially now that the Odysseys are so cookie cutter. So I think I'm going to try and do this whole thing without monkeys, which isn't that hard to do as far as I can tell. I mean, hell, I only brought 3 of them because, let's be honest, it's not your first thought when you think about early game. Late game, yeah, has quite a good chunk of uses. But, yeah, it's not my first thought, for the most part. Alright, Dread Pirate. Work today was alright. It took the average amount of time, I guess. I was left to do certain jobs pretty much all on my lonesome. It's not an issue, it just takes a shitload of time to do if it's just one person working on it, but if it's multiple people working on it, then it just speeds everyone up, and it's like... How do I put it? Let's say it takes one person 3 hours to do it, I think it would take 2 people like an hour or less to do it. So it speeds people up pretty fucking quickly, to the point where it's actually worth throwing more people onto that job, because you'd be saving money. You know, you'd only pick 2 people for 1 hour instead of 1 person for 3 hours. Because it's just so tedious, the amount of stuff that you have to do, having someone else to, like, essentially work on one end, they work on the other, and you meet in the middle. It works out much faster. But yeah, so I was pretty much left my devices for a long ass time, and then in like the last 20 or 30 minutes, one of my mates came along and helped me out. They weren't assigned to do that job, but they essentially called the boss at the time and was just like, hey, it's getting late. Do you want me to give him a hand, or do you want to just leave? Type of thing. Which I did appreciate, because apparently the boss has been getting onto him about his hours that he's doing. He's doing too many in certain days, so I'm glad he's still offered to help me out. So that was good stuff. But yeah, other than that, pretty standard day. I can't wait for tomorrow to be over, honestly. I'm really looking forward to the weekend. Plus, I've got a little bit of a longer weekend, which will be nice. I've got a few things to sort out, so I took the Monday off, and then I've already got Tuesdays off, so should be a good time. Should be a good time. I may or may not be able to stream on Monday night. We'll see how things turn out, but yeah. Hopefully, should be able to get back into a rhythm fairly quickly. Want a banana farm? Nah, there's really no point in farming bananas on between 1 and 40. At least I don't think so. Realistically, I should put you a little bit closer, but it just makes sense to extend the range of everyone. You know? Like, you can already see in the range of this guy, which is essentially the only range that matters. Now we can also see it over here as well. If I shoved you right there, everyone would just be able to see it in this range, which is decent, but it could be better. What? We don't need him. We don't need him, and it's a little unoriginal. To be honest, I feel like at this point, you should just make it. I Are we able to browse community Odysseys? Because I know you can make Odysseys now, but I'm wondering if that's a feature that you can browse, or if you have to specifically look up the code for. Because if it's one where you just have to browse, Ninja Kiwi, you'd do so much better opening that up. Search between win percentage of like, I'd say 30% to 90%, I'd say would be a good balance. Anything lower than 30% and you start getting into the territory of like tryhards that are making Odyssey specifically for the fact that they want people to fail them, which isn't really fun for anyone involved. And if you get to those 100% Odysseys, then it's just those shitty fucking 1 round, 5 maps, it's round 1, you've got $1 million. Oh no, what are you gonna do? You know? But you could just auto-select from there every week, and you can almost guarantee that the community's got more fun ideas. In fact, it's not even almost, I just can guarantee that. I reckon I could churn out some at least half-baked Odyssey ideas that would improve upon the standard formula. You know, even if you just did it like a Pokemon Go event, for example, right? Every week on Monday they have Max Mondays, where all power spots have the same Pokemon in them for you to verse in a Dynamax battle, right? That runs from 6 till 7 PM on Monday. Good stuff. Tuesday comes around, Spotlight Hour. From 6 till 7 PM on Tuesdays, a certain featured Pokemon will be pretty much the only thing spawning in Max for that hour. And then on Wednesdays, they've got Raid Hour from 6 till 7 PM every single week. There will be a featured Pokemon in raids, pretty much all gym locations for that hour. And occasionally, you can get their special move if you do a raid during that hour. Why can't we just organize that with Odysseys? You know? Let's say, break it down into maybe 5 weeks, I would say. Maybe week 1. Pick a specific monkey to focus, you know, like the Mermonkey in this case. Pick a specific monkey to focus, pick some synergistic monkeys to go around it, pick some maps that follow a general theme related to that monkey, maybe even some game modes that relate to that monkey. Done. That's your template for 1 week of the Odysseys. Week 2. Let's make it some sort of income-based Odyssey, whether it's half cash, least cash, farm as hard as you can, because we've made a single custom round on round 100 to make it a fortified BAD instead of just a regular BAD, or 2 fortified BADs or something. Just incentivize making a shitload of money, or spending a specific amount of money. I don't know. Just make it money related, make it fun, make it quirky, you know, maybe make it that you really need a crap ton of money to beat this custom round, but oh no, banana farms are not available. You only have a shitload of heli pilots and snipers. Make do, you know? It's really good fun when you're forced to farm like you would with banana farms with another tower. Plus, you can fit more snipers on a map than a banana farm you open. You know, just set up little templates for about 5 weeks that you can slowly just repeat, but tweak a few things along the way. And I guarantee you the community would take a little bit longer to get tired of Odysseys if that were the case. But at the moment, dead set on it, to be honest. It's not great. Full stop. Anyway, I'm gonna have this little muesli bar thing. What am I eating today? I feel like now I'm almost always eating and or drinking something during the Odysseys. If you're not a fan of that, I do apologize, but usually when I get home from work now, I am very hungry and or thirsty. And I'm tired as hell. So, I need to refuel. Today, Uncle Toby's Chewy Apricot Bar. Not sponsored, but they do taste nice. I used to hate apricots. Like, how do I put it? I didn't necessarily hate the taste, but I didn't want to eat them when I used to go to, like, primary school. Like, my mum would always pack them for me because, you know, it's a healthy snack. It's good for you. But whenever it came to like recess or lunch or whatever, I'd try and like give them to other people or I'd just throw them out, which is really terrible of me. But I was a kid and I really didn't want to eat them at the time. But now, please snack. They are not amazing, but I hate wasting food now. And it does quite well in a pinch. Oh shit. I should probably get a fifth here at some point. Otherwise, what am I gonna put in the thumbnail? Brickle? Probably. Also, that image changed. I don't know what it was, but it was not this. Tier 5! Okay, maybe this is a little unfair on the list. Oh well. Alright, there you go. That has been Sea Monkeys Part 1. Absolutely no sea monkeys were placed. Actually, no. That's not true. We placed boats. Those are monkeys that are out at sea. Close enough. Anyway, as always, part 2 will be out tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.